Jesus Christ, come on! Get out fast, goddammit! Get him out! Kill that son of a bitch! Get him! Get him! I'm gonna kill that son of a bitch! Get him! Come on! You're fucking dead! Kill that motherfucker! You're fucking dead! You're fucking dead! Kill that motherfucker! You're fucking dead, you motherfucker! You're fucking dead!
Hello everyone, this is Pico Entertainment and we're back again, and here now we have another video for you in our Unrated Underappreciated movie review series, and in this edition we will focus on the tense crime thriller Nighthawks. Released on April the 10th 1981, it stars Sylvester Stallone, Billy Dee Williams and Wulfgar Hire, and it was directed by Bruce Mathhew. Now the story of Nighthawks is that we follow two New York detectives, Deke de Silva and Mathhew, who are both assigned to a special anti-terrorist squad to help track down a notorious terrorist known as Wulfgar, who causes mayhem internationally with his continued bombings. The detectives, de Silva in particular, continually clash with their superiors who tell them that their old school methods won't work in apprehending Wulfgar, who is a much more intelligent and superior opponent than they've ever faced before. As their pursuit continues, tensions continue to rise as the stakes become ever more personal, especially for de Silva in trying to take down Wulfgar. Now, Nighthawks is a very lean, tight, pacey thriller with a very gritty and at times noir-esque tone, and despite being released in the early 80s, it's very clearly rooted in the 70s, so much closer in spirit to other classic cop thrillers such as The French Connection and Serpico, with that real edge and rawness and urban energy to it. Now the film was originally intended to be the third French Connection film, and it's easy to see why, as we have that similar escalation in tension with some truly expertly directed action sequences. Now it's not that these scenes are explosive, but it's more about how they're set up, and as with so many movies of this era, it's all about setting up the suspense that pulls you in as a viewer. Another lesson to today's action movies in how to properly construct action scenes using a mixture of music and silent moments, not to just have everything frantically happening at once, where it's far less coherent and engaging to watch. Now the three lead performances throughout the film are all top notch. In the lead role as de Silva, Sylvester Stallone is solid enough, showing that hard-nosed determination and resolve, and Nighthawks was really that penultimate movie in this more serious acting phase of his career before he propelled into blockbusting action icon from 1985 onwards. Billy Dee Williams is also good as Fox in a much more serious performance as what we're used to seeing from him, and whilst him and Stallone have a fair amount of scenes together, it would have been nice to allow for a bit more camaraderie and chemistry between the two, as they are both capable of injecting a lot of appealing personalities on screen. But without question, the movie's standout performance is from the late Wulfgar Hire in what was his Hollywood acting debut as Wulfgar, the main villain of the piece. He has all of that presence and aura and intensity about him, and the tension really elevates whenever he's on screen. His threat level is increased even more so because he's a much more intelligent and methodical villain, much more smarter and more educated, and that makes him even more dangerous. It's an absolutely brilliant performance of which the film would have been far lesser without him in the role. And Wulfgar Hire would solidify his ability in playing a great villain in a year later within his role as one of the replicants in Blade Runner. And when talking about Nighthawks, I simply have to mention the superb musical score by Keith Emerson. It's all retro beats and soulful tones and drum and percussion. It adds so much energy and pace to the film, especially in all of the chase sequences and even more so in the film's climax, which is an absolute masterclass in film editing, score and direction, starting off with moments of silence before building up all of the suspense into the overall crescendo and the final reveal. It again is another great lesson for how to construct suspenseful situations. So if I had to give an overall score for Nighthawks, I would give it a 7.2 out of 10. And when we talk about the movie's release, and on a budget of 5 million, it managed to gross 20 million overall, so it did make its money back. But a movie of this nature, where it's very serious and gritty and dark, it's never going to appeal to mainstream audiences. Now both Sylvester Stallone and Billy Dee Williams were of course involved in far more crowd-pleasing franchises in terms of both Rocky and Star Wars, so this type of film probably alienated a lot of their audiences, since Nighthawks was very much of that R-rated adult film. And Nighthawks really is a forgotten entry when people review Sylvester Stallone's career, and even when they look at his non-Rocky and Rambo entries, Nighthawks really doesn't get much of a mention. Now maybe fans of Stallone feel that this movie is far too dated, but I think that doesn't matter. I think Nighthawks carries enough of a presence that can still be appreciated today, and alongside the expertly directed tense sequences and a masterful performance by Wulfgar and an excellent musical score, all of these elements for me make Nighthawks a movie that's very much unrated and underappreciated and deserves far more attention and recognition many years after its overall release. So those are my overall thoughts and feelings and review of Nighthawks from 1981. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Where do you think it ranks amongst the filmography of Sylvester Stallone, and why do you think it doesn't get much attention many years as opposed to his other movies? Do you think it would be good if we sort of return to this type of tone from the likes of Nighthawks, where we focus far more on tension and suspense rather than explosive action every 5 minutes? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you have any other films or movies or television series or any other topics that you'd like to see me cover and discuss within the channel, then let me know and I will see if I can provide much more commentary for that for you within the future on the channel. Please also hit like the subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you with more high quality content like this in the future. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves and I will see you very soon.